Good morning and welcome to ForexTV.com's AM Forex New York. Today is Thursday, November 29th. I'm Caitlin Sisney. The dollar rose against the euro and the pound as global stocks rallied and Goldman Sachs Group said the U.S. currency's decline is coming to an end. Goldman advised investors to sell dollar-dominated gold because of expectations the risk premium on bank credit will ease and the dollar will stabilize. Aiding the pound's fall from a two-week high against the dollar, the Bank of England said lenders approved the fewest mortgages since February 2005 last month, adding to the case for a cut in interest rates. Sterling is trading at 206.31. Meanwhile, euro is trading at 147.31. The yen gained against 12 of the 16 most active currencies after a report showed Japan's industrial production rose to a record in October. Yen is trading at 110.04. Today we're joined by Securities Osborne from TD Securities. Sean, how is the dollar trading this morning?
Well, good morning. We've seen the dollar trade generally a little bit higher overall this morning after the good start the dollar had to trading yesterday, but subsequently gave up over the course of the rest of yesterday's session. We are actually seeing a bit more follow-through buying in the US dollar generally this morning. A lot of the pressure on the currencies, I think, this morning is reflected mainly in the pound sterling. We've seen some very weak housing data from the UK, also comments from Bank of England policymakers suggesting that rates could move lower in the UK in the not-too-distant future. So weak activity data combined with softer housing numbers and signals from the Bank of England that rates move lower, combining to be a pretty powerful bear factor for the pound sterling this morning. I'm guessing that intraday, if we see cables sterling US trade below 205.70, we probably should see a little bit more pressure on the pound on the downside at least, and probably a little bit more lift on the US dollar generally. Euro dollar seems to be stuck in a range between 146.70, 148.70 again. The euro has seen a bit more follow-through selling this morning after the volatility that we saw yesterday. I do think that the dollar perhaps can do a little bit better here generally. We are looking at potentially some very strong upward revisions to GDP data in the US this morning at 8:30. The markets may look at that as something as a historical factor, if you like, given that most of the focus is on Q4 activity now. But the bottom line here should still be that the growth in the US still held up very, very well in the third quarter. We're expecting a revision from 3.9% growth that was released initially, an upward revision there to probably somewhere closer to 4.8, 4.9%, maybe even pushing beyond 5%. So the economy in the US certainly doing relatively well in the third quarter. Beyond that, I think the focus is going to be on equities. We are seeing, after the big rally that we had in US equity markets yesterday, I think we are seeing a bit more caution start to creep in this morning. Risk measures are pushing up. Volatility is still relatively high. And all things considered, I think this is still an environment where the carry trade is probably going to struggle to thrive. So although the yen did weaken quite considerably yesterday as equities recovered, I do think the yen still in the medium to longer term can do quite a bit better here, particularly against the high yielders.
Thank you, Sean. That was Securities Osborne from TD Securities. I'm Caitlin Sisney. Join us again later for another update right here on ForexTV.com. Have a great day.